What happened? Um... Hold on, let me think. We almost got innocent, but then we decided to tell the truth and dig ourselves deeper into a hole. Ryunosuke, why do you have morals? I get it, though. And so it looks like we're circling back to the two people sitting on top of the omnibus. See if they have anything to do with it. Literally back to the beginning. Alright, and they're telling us their testimony a little bit more updated now. Let's see. We were the only two people up on that roof deck, dead or alive. I can swear to that. If anything had happened when we were sitting, don't you think one or the other of us would have noticed? In any case, neither of us know the first thing about the victim. We had no reason to kill the man. The skylight was shut the entire time, I tell you. We couldn't possibly have opened it. If you're so sure the victim fell through the skylight, where's your proof? Shit. Okay. I must say that on listening to this testimony, it is somewhat hard to imagine how either witness could have performed any malevolent act on this open rooftop deck without the other noticing forthwith. Unless they're in it together. That's right, you see. We're innocent, I tell you. Although logically, of course, the argument falls down if the two of you were in collision with one another. What? Eh? According to investigations by Scotland Yard, the two witnesses share no common dealings. Ha! Well, I don't trust coppers any more than I trust the stinking rich. I agree with you, but why do you look like that? Just asking. Something doesn't feel right here. The trial is going in our favor, really. So why do I feel so uneasy? Counsel for defense, over to you. Your cross-examination, please. Oh, yes, my lord. Guess we'll press the shit out of them.
Hold it!
So at no time did the victim, Mr. Mason, climb up to join you on the roof deck. Absolutely not. Dickon. Oh, we can look at 4 people now. Interesting. No question about it, he said. None at all. Just checking. Oh, but yes, of course. I remember seeing them both. I saw the victim inside the enclosed cabin talking with this man here. Is this true, Mr. McGilded? Dear me, my lord, at the risk of repeating myself. I boarded the omnibus alone and nodded off inside almost immediately. That's an outright lie. Without doubt you were engaged in... Let me stop you there, fella, and ask, do you have any evidence at all? Ah. 'Tis all about evidence in the courts these days, so it is. You do well to remember that. I saw you with my own eyes. This is going so well. Thing that happened where we were sitting, don't you think one or the other was...
Hold it!
Well, it was on the final run of the omnibus at past 10 o'clock in the evening. It would certainly have been quite dark, perhaps too dark to see clearly. Is this some kind of a lark? Is this some kind of a joke, he said. Is that what this is? Or perhaps one or the other of you fell asleep briefly. Are you fair dinkum, sir? Are you serious, sir? That's what he said. It's impossible, I tell you. I'd give you the keys to the vault if you could fall asleep in that bitter cold. And if you did manage it, your eyelids would freeze shut and you'd never open them again. That's extreme. It was extreme, I tell you, and we had to put up with it because this man had locked the door. Any true gent would have unlocked it and let me in when I knocked. I'm dreadfully sorry about that young fella. But you see, I was away with the fairies and I didn't hear ye at all. That's a lie. I saw you through the glass. You were talking to someone. Now, 'twas a cold night, so it was. People do be seeing things that aren't real in the cold. 'Tis hardly surprising. Seeing things? Seeing things? I believe we have reached an impasse here on this particular point. Ugh, you! Don't take it personally, now, lad. If I'm a suspect in this case, then 'tis only fair that you and the other fiend are too. Open and free competition is what capitalist society is all about. This isn't a competition I should like to be involved in, really.
Hold it!
So, you had never met Mr. Thrice-Fired Mason before? Oh, Loon, no! Not once, never. He'd never met the man before, he said. Never. And you, Mr. First, had no prior dealings with the victim either. That's right, sir. Hatters don't have much to do with brickmakers, to be perfectly honest, sir. No, I imagine not. You see, how many different ways can I put this? Neither of us have the remotest connection to the gentlemen who were inside the cabin. Neither of us? Sir, you owe money.
Excuse me.
We know this already. Mr. McGilded? Yes, counsel. What can I be doing you for? Did the witness's last statement give you pause for thought somehow? Not the remotest connection. Is that right now? I wonder. What are you insinuating now? Ah, Mr. Fairplay, 'tas been too long, so it has. Eh? If I'm not very much mistaken, I believe 'tis fast approaching, is it not? Your repayment date? I beg your pardon? You borrowed 20 guineas from me, sir. At an unconscionable rate of interest. You tricked me. It's extortion. Is it, though, if you're gambling? Hey, coach. Well, now, is it a touch of begrudgery, is it? The sort of begrudgery that might motivate a fella to pass his crimes off on another. Ooh, hey, K-Fox. Stop chewing on that. And young Mr. First. Me, sir? What do you want with me, sir? You do be making hats for a living, do you not? That there top hat sliding about in your head isn't one of your own creations, is it? Oh, well, I'm just an apprentice, you understand. I'm learning to find a perfect fit for whatever fine gent walks through the door. The hat looks like a fucking Alice in Wonderland Mad Hatter hat. The perfect fit, is it? Well, 'tis a very distinctive design, so it is. Many customers like it, I tell you. They like a distinctive touch. Customers such as Thrice-Fired Mason. Ah. There was a photographic print of the victim submitted as evidence afore, my lord. Oh, this, you mean? I can't help thinking, but that the Four Palace hat looks distinctly familiar, wouldn't you say? Oh. That's one of my hats. Haha, aye, that it is. So it seemed the brickmaker was a customer of yours. No, it's Thrice-Fired because of the bricks he makes. He, like, Fires him in the oven 3 times or something? I don't know. The sort of customer I'd wager you could have had a wee quarrel with over the distinctiveness of the goods. Oh no, sir. Absolutely not, sir. Well, there's really nothing more to add. It wouldn't be right to say that the 2 fellas here haven't the remotest connection to the victim, you see. I rest my case. You little weasel. Better at this than I am. Gosh, Mr. McGill has certainly been thorough in his research, hasn't he? Please, don't let me little interruption hold up the proceedings. Should we add that to the fucking record? That they both know something about him? Or... I feel like we should add that to the record.
Hold it!
Are you quite certain about that? That the skylight was shut the entire time? I'm going to lose my block with you in a minute. He's going to lose his rag with you in a minute, that's what he said. Take a look for yourself. Go on. You see, it's shut fast now, just like it was in the night. So it is, of course. A fellow the size of Mr. Mason could likely break right through it, still and all. What? Just looking at the side of the thing, you understand. Now you hold on there a minute, sir. The size of the ting means nothing. Not on its own. Let's consider the bigger picture here, shall we? Let's stop biting our cane, shall we? I was riding the omnibus on another occasion when, well, I broke wind. Loudly. I shocked myself with it as it happens. Why are you saying this? This is an unexpected confession, Mr. First. Oh, I just mean to say, well, the point is, I tried to open the skylight, you see. But, just my luck, I couldn't make it budge. The stench was terrible. Everyone was looking daggers at me, sir. I went as red as rouge, I did. Are you expecting me to sentence you? Oh, no, sir. The point is, the skylight can't be opened. I tried and tried when I was inside that cabin of shame. Oop, she got something to say.
Excuse me.
Do you have something to say about that, Miss Lestrade? Miss Lestrade. It opens. The skylight. That is what we're talking about, right? Hello? All them skylights open, dead easy. More easily than you can load that weapon? That's a lie, I tell you. Otherwise, when I broke wind, I can't do it from inside, you mug. Oh. Look, a few weeks ago, I was up on the roof deck of one of them drags. And I had a great haul. I mean, I had purses coming out me ears. Miss Lestrade, this is not the forum to be eulogizing on the subject of your criminal activities. Well, I don't know. Mr. First literally said, I farted, and it smelled bad. So I guess we're all just confessing stuff now. No, usually when they react, it's something important. Well, anyway, I had a bit of a scare. When I lifted the last bloke's purse, he got wise to me. All 4 of them surrounded me, so I couldn't hop off the bus and leg it. So what I did was, I used a skylight, opened the catch, and jumped right through. What? Yeah, the catch for them skylights is on the top side. That's why I can't open them from the cabin. The skylight opens from the roof deck. Bailiff? climb up under the roof of the omnibus at once and verify this witness's claims. Ooh, it opened. Oh, my hat. See? Order, order, order! So it appears that this street girl's statement is quite true. We never see him in action. I know he's there. I don't believe it. The skylight opens. And from the roof deck... Mr. Naruhodo. This could be the clue we've been looking for. Well, counsel for defense, please continue with your cross-examination. Yes, my lord. So the skylight opens. Perhaps I should investigate for myself. Okay, hold on. That's a clue. Let's looky at it. So the skylight was fastened shut before, but now the catch has been undone. We should be able to open it. You can certainly see inside the carriage through this opening, that's for sure. Yes, and there's a lamp in the enclosed cabin, so I'm sure the witnesses would have been able to see quite clearly. It's not good for us. Can we get inside and look up top? Hold on. Okay, I guess we have nothing to say from here. Wait. Yes, it does open very wide, doesn't it? Wide enough to kick someone like you through, certainly, Mr. Naruhodo. Find someone like me. Ah! What is it? Look, just here. Look at this. That's, without question, it's blood. Why would there be a blood stain here? Surely, it can't be unrelated to the case, can it? Hehe, we got him. I still don't understand why this is here. Maybe the bloodstain is here because it leaked off the skylight? I'm gonna see what they say about this. That's blood. Something wrong. So obvious. Okay. And we didn't wouldn't the blood have dried by now? That's what I was saying too, and we didn't explain how there was nothing in here. We made a comment about it.
Hold it!
Proof. That's right, I demand to hear it. When did we say that? After the smoke bomb, when I was looking back inside and stuff. And Rinosuke's like, I could have sworn there was something here. And we talked about it in court. Because Von Zieks is like, there was something in there according to the police. And we were like, yeah, there was something in there. And then Magnus is like, what the fuck? You're supposed to be on my side. And I'm like, did you mess with the evidence? If you're innocent? We came here to say what we saw. I tell you, not for this. They call us both... Hello? Shickers? Dicers? Brand us as criminals. You call us liars, that's what he means, and accuse us of doing it. As it stands at the moment. There's no hard evidence that incriminates yourselves now, is there? I believe we're in much the same position as one another here. If I don't crack this case soon, he'll crack his teeth. I think I'm okay with it. Couldn't say, I mean, I don't really know anything about them, do I? Although by the same token, I don't really know anything about Mr. McGilded either. It's so hard to know what to believe here. I think we should try to remember that it's evidence alone that can truly determine the outcome of a trial. Evidence. No one can argue against decisive evidence. Okay. We're just gonna show them the bloodstain. But let me save first, because I have 1 life left. Hehe. There's a bloodstain visible on the frame of the skylight when it's open. Okay, we can present this.
Objection.
On the night in question, the victim was fatally stabbed in the stomach. And immediately afterwards, the victim's body was pushed through the skylight into the cabin below. Those are the facts, and the irrefutable proof remains clearly visible in the omnibus that stands before us today in this very courtroom. That's because Ryunosuke is like a little baby in episode 1. What? That's utter humbug. You can't possibly have any evidence. No, you can't. I mean, we didn't do it, I tell you. It's impossible. Irrefutable proof. Here, in this courtroom. Counsel? My lord. I believe everyone would appreciate a little clarification here, Where exactly within the omnibus is this evidence to which you allude? You'll point out what it is that proves the victim fell from the roof deck through the skylight. I was about to say, there's evidence in this courtroom all the time! What are you saying? Let me take a sippy. Oh, thank God, now my mug warmer turns on. Blast that shit up. Why is it so low? The game's in the deep.
Got it!
Yeah. Because I stick my either coffee or tea on it. By Jupiter, is that blood? This bloodstain proves 2 things. Firstly, when the incident occurred, the skylight of the omnibus was open. What? And secondly, the victim was already bleeding when he fell through the opening. Oh my. And so it follows that Mr. McGilded, who was inside the enclosed cabin himself at the time, cannot possibly be guilty of this crime. No! Oh, Ordar!
Hold it!
But the blood could have sprayed up there when the fellow was stabbed inside the cabin. And only found its way to that one particular spot in the skylight. Sure, and that would be very convenient. And let's keep it in mind that the skylight catch can only be unfastened from the roof deck. I myself wouldn't have been able to open it now, would I? But... There's no way to know for certain, is there? If the gent really fell through the skylight, I mean. Why don't you have a good look at the floor of the cabin between the 2 seats, Mr. First? Yeah, when did that show up? 'Tis all too plain, if you see. There's the aftermath that shows the poor fella dropped from a fair height right there, so it is. Is this being put there to help us? This and the emptying of the storage? So I don't even know if this is, like, the truth. What? No. But it can't be. It's all lies! My fellow jury members. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. And I'm like, you really didn't need to do that. You were close. But I guess it helped. It helped a lot. I think we can all agree that this is clear proof of the defendant's innocence, can't we? I believe we can, yes, sir. It's clear to me now where the filthy rubbish can be found in this courtroom. So, they thought they could pull the wool over my eyes, did they? I won't tolerate any of the guild's carriages being sullied with blood. I won't tolerate it. Oh, I always knew that nice gentleman who gave us a delightful park couldn't have done such a thing. Did you? On 3 then, everyone. 1, 2, 3.
Objection!
Oop! Chilling performance, Mr. McGilded. Oh, and what would ye be referring to there now, Lord Van Zieks? A bloodstain on the frame of the skylight. Such evidence is null and void. What? Why? For one extremely simple reason. That smear of blood never existed.
Objection!
What are you talking about? It's there for all to see, and it's clearly blood.
Objection!
I personally attended Scotland Yard's investigation of the omnibus. The officers involved went over the carriage with a fine-tooth comb. So I can say with absolute surety, no such smear of blood existed in the carriage. At least, not until this trial began. But, are you suggesting, Lord Van Zieks, that this stain of blood was fabricated, my lord? Yes. And while this court has been in session. What? God, you were so close. What a palaver. I must say I didn't expect such a crude reasoning from a prosecutor of your stand-in, Lord Van Zieks. But I'm Magnus McGilded, a fellow known all over the capital for his fine contributions to public life. I don't take kindly to slander, and I'll fight it to the bitter end. Even if it's rolling off the tongue of the Reaper of the Valley. Mr. McGilded. I realize that this is your first appearance in court as the accused. However, I'm well aware of your involvement behind the scenes in a great many affairs of dubious nature. You're very adept when it comes to avoiding getting your own hands dirty. And each time it happens that a case you're involved in is investigated, you adapt the facts. Adapt the facts? What does that even mean? He needs to shut up, is what he's saying. When you wield the fortune the size of Mr. McGilded's, however ill-gotten it may be, nothing is impossible. Tampering with evidence, manipulating the scene of a crime, bribing witnesses. I toast your ability to concoct the most convenient of stories, sir. Tut tut, Lord Van Zieks, this will not do, to be sure. Will it now, counsel? Oh, no. I think it's fair to say that this does all sound like a rather far-fetched excuse by a desperate man. The blood in the sky didn't exist, you say? But if you will all cast your minds back, is it not true that the omnibus there has been in the courtroom the entire time? How could anyone possibly have put a smear of blood in it without the world and his wife seeing? Isn't that right now, counsel? It's true. The omnibus has been in full view the entire time that the court has been in session. My learned friend. Here's to hearing your opinion on this matter, in your own words. He's gonna say the fucking truth. As you wish. Could someone have tampered with the omnibus during this trial? If you're asking me, I think... Oh, God. Yes. It could have been possible. He had to bring it up, is the thing. Wait, I didn't save. Fuck. As a defense lawyer, it's my job to advocate for a defendant as best as I can. No, I didn't save! But still, I feel as though there's something even more important at stake here. There is no evidence to suggest that the defendant did as my learned friend suggests. However, in terms of having the opportunity to carry out the alleged tampering, there is one possibility. Oh! Good gracious. Explain yourself, counsel. Yes, there is. It seems my learned Nipponese friend has no intention of running from this deceit. Deceit? I'm sure everyone still remembers clearly. What? I did not do that. The recess that we were forced to take. As a result of the smoke grenade fired by the witness currently in the stand, Miss Gina Lestrade. Oh no! Smoke! Ooh. The courtroom was filled with smoke, and everyone was thrown into confusion. All of us were made to leave this chamber. In that brief interval, under the veil of smoke and in all the chaos, it could have been possible to steal inside the omnibus. Are you wise? What are you trying to pull, you rotten feckless gouger? Feckless? Gouger? You're supposed to be defending me. 'Tis a wicked plot. 'Tis a plot to undermine me, so it is.
Objection!
Whatever you think this is, it changes nothing. The facts are the same. After this courtroom was evacuated earlier as a result of the smoke grenade, a number of inconsistencies materialized in relation to the omnibus. Inconsistencies, such as... To start with, the storage compartment underneath the rear passenger seat. When the police investigated the omnibus, this compartment was full of the driver's items. Secondly, we have the smear of blood on the edge of the skylight. As I have said, that was not present at the start of the trial this morning. Unfortunately, Lord Van Zieks, no one is able to corroborate your claims. That's true. When the omnibus was first wheeled out, both the storage compartment and the skylight were shut. Accordingly, I'm afraid to say we cannot establish with any certainty if this evidence is a result of tampering or not. Indeed, my lord. No doubt there was not a single person who saw fit to verify such things. Except me. I mean, I looked at it. What do you think? Sorry? About the omnibus. Is there anything else unusual about the omnibus? The fucking blood! Let me save though. My lord. Yes, counsel. There is one further inconsistency. A mark that surely could not have been present at the start of the trial. What? What in the devil's name are you going to say now? If you dare to betray me, you little maggot, you'd better start watching your back.
Objection!
Silence, McGilded. The court awaits the defense's clarification. This trial keeps swinging one way then the other. I have no idea what's the truth and what's deception. What am I supposed to believe here? I shall have to ask you to elaborate, Counsel. Where's the mark? Look down! That's blood. This wasn't so obvious, that's all. Van Zieks hasn't mentioned it. Yeah, literally just made Magnus look worse. But whatever.
Got it!
If we consider that the victim fell through the skylight into the floor of the cabin, we would certainly expect to find signs of blood where he landed. But as far as I recall, this bloodstain on the cabin floor was not there when the omnibus was first brought into the courtroom. Good lord. Yes, I do believe you're correct, Counsel. Well said. Although, as advocate for the defense, one might say that was a very careless slip of the tongue. What kind of cereal? I believe that bloodstain on the floor is a decisive piece of evidence. Is it? But if the question is whether the evidence is genuine, or whether it was unlawfully fabricated by someone, I feel compelled to admit that there's at least a possibility that the evidence is fake. Damn. Damn. Oh. This trial is over. Mr. McGilded, I've done everything I possibly can to cooperate with the court, but 'tis all over now. But you're the defendant. It's over, I tell ye. Memory, recollection, what people think they saw, 'tis all a nonsense. Facts are what counts, and the fact is that bloodstain is there, now. Well... And over the course of this desperate trial, long and extremely drawn out as it been, that good-for-nothing Reaper of the Bailey has failed to present any decisive evidence at all. I'm scandalized, so I am. I thought better of Lord Van Zieks. Well, my lord, I must concur with the defendant. The unaffirmed recollections of an individual cannot stand as evidence. At this moment in time, the particular bloodstain in question is very much in existence, and in the absence of any credible method by which to prove its alleged previous non-existence, I regret to say that it would be improper for this trial to continue. Your lordship can't be serious. Lord Van Zieks, what is your position? That's fair. But also, he's been out of the loop. This is his first trial back, right? After 5 or so years. The prosecution, my lord, has no further witnesses or evidence to present. Very well. In that case, as I believe we have explored every possible avenue in this matter, I shall proceed to my adjudication. As a formality, I am of course obliged to confirm with the defense first. Yeah, first, like, a court appearance in a while. What formality? As things stand at the moment, it would seem that Mr. McGill will be found not guilty. Yes. Which would mean we've won. Is that really the right outcome here? Is it really alright for the trial to come to an end now, with all these unexplained inconsistencies? Counsel for your defense, your closing statement, please. Yes, my lord. The defense believes... On God... What? Hold on. Saving. I thought this whole series was literally we're supposed to believe in our defendant. That's the whole series. What is this? What is this? Oh, I'll take another sip. I need some time to think. I mean, it's awful advice in real life, yeah. But this is a game. Oops! No, I didn't mean to press that! I guess we'll read this. As Mr. McGilda's legal representative. I can't breathe. The air in here is stifling. But I'm this man's defense lawyer. There's only one thing I can say in this situation. I believe the defendant, Magnus McGilded, to be innocent of the allegations brought against him. Thank you, counsel. God. I'm just thinking of what Cosmo would have said. He would have said... Oh, no! Here's to you, my Nipponese friend. And the most abject closing I've yet to hear in a court of law. Yeah, I was gonna say, we can prove it without fabricated evidence, please. Ordar, ordar! Oh, 'twas a grand decision to appoint you as my lawyer, so it was. A grand decision. You saved one of London's most influential gentlemen, fella. You should be proud of yourself. Here, have this for your troubles. Your job here is done, fella. And some fine work you've done, so you have. What do you mean? It's just as a right honorable gentleman so succinctly put afore. The trial can't go on anymore. And your closing statement there was, how did he put it now? Nothing more than a formality. I feel like this happens either way. How it's just a formality that what we're saying. I mean, I really don't know what to make of all this. Was the evidence we've seen genuine, or was it fake? His lordship will be fuming. Any unsightly rubbish should be disposed of promptly, as I said. The stinking rich are always guilty of something. You, mark my words. I feel terribly ashamed that I ever doubted that lovely man who gave us a lovely park. Now that proceedings have unfolded in this way, I'm compelled to declare a premature end to this trial. Furthermore, the court must accept the defendant's plea. I thank you kindly, my lord. Ugh. I hereby pronounce a verdict of this court.
Objection!
Oh my god, oh my god! But we still haven't determined if the blood stain in the omnibus is genuine or not. We don't know if these witnesses are telling the truth or a pack of lies. We have no idea about the truth. Lord Van Zieks. My lord. The case made by the prosecution was flawed, plain and simple. Oop. If indeed the omnibus presented as evidence was tampered with, the prosecution is at fault for allowing such a disgraceful perversion of justice to take place. Damn! I guess because they were holding... They had the evidence. It was in their court. My sincerest apologies, my lord.
Objection!
But, wait. When we were evacuated from the courtroom, Lord Van Zieks ordered the evidence to be secured. I'm afraid the prosecution cannot shun responsibility in this matter. That's so unfair. The culpability of the defendant has not, at the present time, been established by this court. Consequently, the jury will not be required to prefer judgment. What? Okay, jury can do heck all then. Well, Lord Van Zieks, it's been a pleasure, so it has. And as for you, my dear fella, I couldn't have asked for a better defense. Do you mean to tell me this has all been a grand waste of time? 'Tis the law of the land, my good man. If you'd like to pursue this matter further, you can always go ahead and try to change the law. Hate him. Hate everyone. Magnus McGilded. Good grief, you've more to say to me, have ye? Just one thing. A warning. This is far from over. Well, something to be looking forward to then. God. I hereby pronounce the defendant, Mr. Magnus McGilded, not guilty. I forgot about the confetti! The fireworks! I can't believe it. This is an outrage. You should have examined the evidence. What are you talking about? The man's been cleared. He's innocent. I know. I feel like it would have gone the same way. It seemed like it. Like the dialogue seemed... It could fit with either way. With the courtroom in pandemonium for the second time that day, the judge delivered his verdict. Oh, I'll save now. Okay, I'll save now. And my first ever trial in Great Britain came to an abrupt end, with the defendant being found not guilty, ostensibly a victory for us. Does this mean that, like, the Chief Justice is in on it with Magnus? Curious. Because we were given this because it's a test. That certainly was a long trial. Yes, it was. Your first ever trial on foreign soil and your first victory. It was a wonderful performance. My heartfelt congratulations. And to you, Mrs. Sato. Thank you for your assistance. I suppose we should be happy. The trouble is, we're still completely in the dark about what actually happened. Well, we didn't have enough time. But isn't it wrong? I mean, who was actually responsible for Mr. Mason's death? You don't even know that. The sole aim of the defense is to obtain a verdict that exonerates the defendant. You carried out your duty to perfection. I don't know, I think it's pretty much over. But we'll probably see Magnus again. Aye, that you did. Mr. McGilded. Ah, and that girl is with him too. Well, it seems the stories are true. Oh, what stories? About the 6 enormous fireworks they do be letting off when there's a verdict of not guilty. I'm sure yous must have seen them now. Spectacular, wouldn't you say? Yes, definitely. I'd heard it was a sight to behold, and to be sure it was. And I've you to thank, I suppose, for having an opportunity to see it. I suppose. Sir. Yeah, I was about to say, give us a shit ton of money to buy our silence. Oh, I don't know about that. I'm not sure I really did anything. What on earth are you saying, fella? How'd I walk out of there a free man, then? I don't think it was so much thanks to me as down to your planning. You're a straight-talking fella, aren't you? I must say, you had me astray in the head there once or twice. But you're young and headstrong. 'Tis water under the bridge. Is it, though? Van Zieks is going to kill you. Congratulations, Mr. McGilded, on having your name cleared. But nothing's resolved. There's only one thing that matters to me. Oh? Hi. They've all seen that I didn't do that odious and abstinent deed. 'Tis grand, is it not? I suppose it is. Now the fine fellows of Scotland Yard can take matters in hand and sort out any wee details. They'll see it for what it is. They'll get to the truth. I don't trust the police. I don't trust you. Might as well just do my own fucking investigation. I have absolute faith in them, so I have. After all, I do be providing a good number of their wages with all the taxes I pay. It's not that funny. So then, as we agreed aforehand, 1,000 guineas for your troubles, fella. Oh, no, I couldn't possibly accept that much. Just take it. Just take it. Be whist, you're a humble people, are ye? You from the east. Well, if you insist. But have this, still and all. You deserve a reward. Are you fucking kidding me, Ryunosuke? We need that. We don't have a job here. We just moved here. We don't have a place to stay. Mr. Magnus McGilded. Everything is ready, sir. If you'd like to follow me into the courtroom. Into the courtroom? What's this, officer? 'Tis sooner than I was led to believe. I hope it's not inconvenient, sir. There were some changes to the schedule. Well, I must be making tracks now. 'Tis time for the inspection. Sorry? What inspection? You're going to examine the omnibus again, so I'm told. I asked if I could be present for it myself. They're going to examine it again? Now? Naturally, I'm under no obligation to take part in any more of this matter now. But as an upstanding member of London society, I do be doing me best to help where I can. 'Tis a gentleman's duty, so it is. So then, fare thee well. 'Twas an absolute pleasure meeting yous. I hope you have a whale of a time while you're studying here in Great Britain. Fuck, now I want to look at it too. And there he goes, a free man. Oh, I forgot she was here too. Oh god. Don't move! Whereas I want to say, get a move on. She really does take forever to load that thing. Miss Lestrade, would you mind putting that thing down? You're a grown-up. Sorry? And I ate all grown-ups. Ah! There you are. Huh? Naughty, naughty! Running off like that! Is this some kind of picnic? Who's this little girl now? And taking that with you as well. I was looking forward to the trial run of my experimental smoke grenade launcher. Ha! Oh, do you want to play? You won't beat me. Excuse me, but who are you? Oh, good day to you. I'm, well, the inventor, I suppose, of that machine. The inventor? Well, no more smoke grenades are so dull, don't you agree? White, white, and more white. If you had to be shrouded in smoke, it could at least be a pretty color, I thought to myself. So we have to be shrouded in smoke, though. At all. I just took my eyes off it for a moment while I was changing into a different omnibus, and she pinched it. Luckily, I fitted it with a telegraphic beacon. A what? I have no idea what this girl is talking about. Anyway, you're coming with me now. Back to my laboratory. What? What for? To apologize, of course, silly. To my technician. What? You mean, say sorry? You must say sorry when you've done something wrong. Surely an adult has told you that before. An adult? I don't listen to no adults. Come along then, follow me. Fine, have it your way. Oh good, you see, I knew you'd want to do the right thing in the end. Not like I was holding a gun to your face or anything. I'm fairly sure that what she wants is not to get shot by that massive gun of yours. We'll be leaving now then. Bye-bye. I'm so sorry for all the fuss. She was a lively one. Well, do you think perhaps we ought to be on our way now too? Yes, you're right, but where to? Oh, we haven't had time to find a place to stay. No sooner had we arrived in London than we had to rush here. All our traveling cases are still with the bailiff. I was originally planning to spend today in search of lodgings. But at this late hour in the day, I'm afraid we may be out of luck. I got it on sale on Humble. Because I originally bought this full price on Steam, and then I saw it on sale on Humble like the day after, and I was like, heck this! I'm gonna get it. And so I did get, a refund. Don't worry though, I have a plan. If the worst comes to worst, I've heard of a lovely park where we could spend the night. Please tell me you're not thinking of McGilded Park. I know it may be a little chilly at this time of year, but our youthfulness will see us through. I'm not so sure about that. I think a midwinter London night will freeze a young person solid just as easily as an elderly one. Oh dear, doesn't sound agreeable. Oh, I'm starting to regret turning Mr. McGilded down. Should have taken the fucking money. That 1,000 guineas would have paid for a lovely warm room. Or mansion. And so, the trial to determine my worthiness for the study tour was over by the end of our first day in London. Oh, they are? However, as we were soon to learn, there were more trying times ahead, just as the Reaper of the Valley had warned. The case was far from over. Kazuma must be so disappointed in me right now. I didn't mean to say that. Ah!
What's going on? Get the fire brigade! Water!
Oh shit!
Water, quick! What the? How did this happen? I don't know, sir. By the time I got here, it was already engulfed. No one was supposed to be allowed in here before we started investigating.
Oh, who's in there?
No. Oh, good God. There's someone in there. Oh. Oh. This can't be.
No. Ah, shit. It might be one of the guys sitting on the roof. The Adventure of the Clouded Kokoro. Oh my goodness.
I begin to think, Wilson, said Sholmes, turning his head languidly in my direction, that there is more to this case than that which we have observed. Indeed, that there may be another part to this story that we are yet to discover. His eyes wandered, following the steam rising from his cup of herbal tea, leading him to the distant memory of that snowy evening. To the young lady collapsed on the pavement along Briar Road, and to the knife in her back. Lit in the soft glow of gas lamps, a most extraordinary scene had been set. And under the cover of a light fog, the curtain had risen silently on the insoluble mystery of our invisible killer.
I feel like if I said otherwise, it wouldn't have mattered. But Cosmo, she's so disappointed in me. Ah! Is this literally the day after? Hold on. Damn, I can't tell. Did you sleep last night, Mr. Naruhodo? No, not at all. It was an enormous hotel, wasn't it? The rooms were so luxurious, I felt like we were staying in a palace. And with all the gaslights twinkling, it was brighter than day even in the middle of the night. What about the enormous beds? After my time on the SS Beria, I wasn't going to waste a single inch of that space. I spent the entire night rolling from one side of the mattress to the other. Oh yes, it really was the sort of night you can only dream of normally. Except, when I learned that we owed £3 for the rooms, that dream quickly turned into a nightmare. Oops, sorry about that. The building was so impressive and the entrance so inviting, I just wandered in without thinking. In a lodging house in Japan, that sum of money would put a roof over your head for a whole year. I did try, but I'm afraid I couldn't help my tears when we were presented with the bill. Ugh, I really am sorry. Well, never mind. We must find some more affordable lodging straight away, though. If we're not careful, our entire stipend will be used up in 10 days or less. Ugh, London is a scary place. Ah, good morning to you at this early hour. Oh, yes, well... Good morning to you, Lord Chief Justice. We have come to report on the outcome of the trial at the Old Bailey yesterday. Kazato-san is amazing. She doesn't bat an eyelid, even in the presence of the imposing Lord Strongheart. Yes, I believe you had a very comprehensive initiation into British courtroom practices. Oh, yes, it was very eye-opening. Thank you. And, in accordance with your instructions, Lord Strongheart, Mr. Naruhodo performed his duty to the end. Yes, I've already been apprised of events. You conducted a remarkable defense. You may consider the test passed. Oh! No longer are you a student from the Empire of Japan. You may henceforth claim to be a fully fledged lawyer. My country is delighted to welcome young talent from such a remote eastern land. Thank you very much. So I'm a lawyer now. Now, in view of your new appointment, I have a fresh case in mind for you. I'd like you to take it on at once. I trust that won't be a problem. Another case? Already? Nothing trains a lawyer better than practical experience. I'm sure. I don't sense dissatisfaction, do I? It's just that yesterday's trial ended unusually. I haven't quite come to terms with it. What's to come to terms with? The man was cleared. What more were you hoping for? The truth. just can't help wondering if Mr. McGilded really was innocent. Mr. Naruhodo, it's just that I never managed to ascertain the truth. And then the trial ended. Well, you needn't let it trouble you for a second longer. Sorry? What do you mean, Lord Strongheart? Magnus McGilded passed away immediately following the trial. Oh, shit. No. What? Mr. McGilded is dead? I have 19 minutes and 41 seconds until my next engagement. Time enough to talk. I know, we should have taken the money! Damn! I don't understand. What happened? How can he be dead? That's the last person I thought of who would be inside that burning omnibus. After the trial concluded yesterday, there was a great commotion in the Old Bailey. As you presumably recall, an omnibus had been wheeled into the courtroom. Yes, of course. That was the scene of the crime which Mr. McGilded had been accused of. Oh shit! I think that's what's gonna happen. Precisely. Well, while the bailiff's attention was diverted by some other matter, the omnibus went up in flames. No. How could such a thing have happened? That is being investigated as we speak, but already. The police have identified a corpse found inside the charged shell of a carriage as that of McGilded. That's awful. The man must have slipped inside whilst the bailiff's attention was elsewhere. That bailiff really needs to pay more attention. And how could that have happened? That is also being investigated as we speak. Thinking back now, immediately after the trial, Mr. McGilded did mention going back into the courtroom to look at the omnibus. Hee, I'm a gentleman, I gotta do this. Blah 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 blah. Inspection. Yeah, I know, they didn't really do anything. Oops, wait, I skipped something, hold on. An inspection of the omnibus. Not to my knowledge, I don't believe Scotland Yard had any intention of re-examining the carriage. But then who is Mr. McGilded talking about? Never mind that now. The Yard is making a thorough investigation. This matter is no longer any concern of yours. Leave it to the police. Poor Mr. McGilded. Sussy. So, how did you find your first taste of our country's Supreme Court? Oh, well, I don't know. I mean, it was... wow. Mr. Naruhodo means that the whole experience was steeped in the solemnity of Great Britain's long history. It's really a world apart from our own judicial system in Japan, which is only a few short decades old. Wow, Sato-san has such a way with words. And you seem to have a way of failing to find the right ones. She can read our fucking minds. And we just don't notice it. The judicial system here is the most advanced in the world. Learn all you can. The most advanced in the world, is it? It was fortunate that your very first trial was a simple affair. Simple? That was simple? As I believe I mentioned yesterday morning, it was a trial you couldn't lose. So he's in on it too. I don't mean to be contrary, Lord Strongheart, but the case was anything but simple. The circumstances of the case were so incriminating, I was stunned when I first heard them. In fact, I'm still finding it hard to believe that we managed to get a favorable verdict. Is something funny? No, my apologies. However, the fact is that you did receive the not guilty verdict you set out to achieve. And that can only be attributed to exceptional talent. Wouldn't you agree? I feel like I was being used for something here. Well, I don't know about that. Well, never mind. You exceeded my expectations, I freely admit. That much, at least, is an undeniable truth. Which is precisely why I've prepared a new case for you that I mentioned before. What's going on? What was he going to say before? Okay. I'm sussy of everyone here. Could you perhaps give us some more details about the new case you mentioned? Don't tell me. It's a murder, and the trial starts in 10 minutes. Don't worry, it's nothing so alarming or quite so urgent as your last assignment. In fact, this case is completely different. Oh, I see. Did you just read my mind? That is to say, no one has died, as yet. And a trial will not be today. There's plenty of time to do research on the case thoroughly. 23 hours, 43 minutes, and 19 seconds to be precise. Aha! So the trial's tomorrow then. I mean, that's more time than we had the first time. Is everything alright? Oh, yes, I'm just a little confused, that's all. Yesterday's trial was... well, it's left me wondering if I'm really cut out for being a lawyer. Oh, Mr. Naruhodo. I don't know if I could face standing at a courtroom again after Mr. McGilded's trial. Ah yes, I nearly forgot. There is one similarity with yesterday's case. Once again, there is currently no one to advocate for the defense. Oh. If the situation remains unchanged, the trial will start tomorrow with the defendant unrepresented. And if that happens, I need not remind you of the inevitable outcome. The most terrible end awaits a defendant. Yes, that's right. Here we go again. Oh my god, Ryunosuke is literally a public defender. Your time is up. You will have to excuse me. I would advise you to begin making preparations for tomorrow's trial. After all, the clock is ever ticking. There is now but 23 hours, 26 minutes, and 39 seconds until the court sits. Last time he mentioned the 23 hours, he said there was plenty of time. And one more thing, Mr. Naruhodo. There is something I should like to ask you. Oh, what's that? Yesterday you remarked upon something that you intend to see through the will of your late compatriot, Mr. Asogi. I would be interested to hear what exactly you mean by that. Inside 34 seconds. Oh, well, Cosmo always used to say, you see, that he wanted to learn how the greatest justice system in the world works so he could change ours in Japan. Now that he's gone, I'd like to work towards it myself. And there's another thing. Oh? Another thing. Continue. On the way here on the steamship, he said something to me. It's something very important that I have to do. Something very important. And what exactly would that be? He never had a chance to tell me. I suppose he would have done if he'd ever made it to Great Britain. You're out of time. Well, thank you for an enlightening discussion. Why the fuck are you just giving me 30 seconds to say all that? Oh yeah, he didn't tell us who we're defending. But I guess we'll learn that today. Mr. Naruhodo, what's this all about? Mr. Soki never once mentioned anything of the sort to me. I urge you both to focus your attentions on the matter at hand. I've taken the liberty of summoning the police inspector in charge of the case. He'll be able to apprise you of the details. No, it looks like it's a different case. And that the defendant has no one to defend him, I guess? I don't know. If I'm basing it on the little prologue before each episode, someone got stabbed in the back at night. Although there hasn't been any dead people yet, supposedly. How long has he been there? So I wish you the best of luck and bid you farewell. There's something very important that I have to do. Kazuma-sama, what do you mean? I wish I knew, but honestly, he never told me. Anyway, we had better talk to the detective, don't you think? How drip. Yes, you're right. I hope I'm just imagining it, but I wouldn't say he looks pleased to see us at all. The detective? What about his shoes? Let me save first. Okay, we still have 30 minutes. Could we trouble you? What do you think? Ah. Lovely weather, isn't it? I think you only have to buy the specific Steam amounts that they give you on the website. I mean, another way to add exact is just paying by card. Or not adding exact. I don't know. What's the weather got to do with anything? Listen to me, you young Japanese upstart. Some frippery about the weather doesn't get every English gent eaten out of your hand, you know. But Susato-san told me it was foolproof. I'm a busy man. A very busy man. There's a crime scene to investigate, but I'm here having to give the likes of you a talking to. Oh, I'm ever so sorry. Can you imagine what the other officers there will be saying? Haven't seen Gregson anywhere, have you? No, he's so busy with the big wigs these days. And all because of some bumpkin who's here on a jaunt from a country I've never even heard of. Are you being a racist? Hear that ripping sound? That's my reputation at the yard going to tatters. There's no need to rip us apart as well. I don't believe you've been introduced. This is Mr. Ryanosuke Naruhodo, a defense lawyer. Eh? It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I'm Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant, Eh? It's lovely weather we're having today, isn't it? It is unseasonably fine, I grant you. London winters don't see a lot of sunshine. Unbelievable. How did she pull that off? So, Lord Strongheart has asked me to fill you in on the case. The name's Tobias Gregson, Inspector Gregson to you. I'm from Scotland Yard. Oh, when Ryanosuke talked to him, he was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm just here. I was called here to do something, blah 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 blah. And then Susato's like, oh, I'm sorry, let us introduce ourselves. Lovely weather we're having. And then he's like, lovely weather, true. Maybe it's just because he's pretty, I don't know. Gregson? Inspector Gregson? What's the matter with Susato-san? Does this detective's name mean something to her? Tell me about yourself, Inspector. Inspector, are you perhaps the Inspector Gregson? You're acting like you know this man, Mr. Sato, but he's a London detective. Oh, I do know him very well, in fact. Very well? Yes, he features prominently in the adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Oh, and that publication. What's it called again? Rance Magazine? That's right. Inspector Gregson and Mr. Sholmes enjoy a wonderful friendly rivalry. Really? You rival the great Mr. Sholmes? That's incredible. Oh, well, I don't know about that. Mr. Sholmes isn't a professional like myself, of course, but he does come up with the goods from time to time. Coach, please! Mr. Sholmes is equally complimentary about you, Inspector, isn't he? You've earned his highest praise. Gregson is the pick of a bad lot of all the Scotland Yarders. Those were his own words. That's his highest praise. Well, Mr. Sholmes isn't particularly known for giving compliments, you see. That he is not. And thanks to that magazine, my name's known all over London town now. That's great, isn't it? I have to admit that to start with, I was a little, well, flattered by all the attention. Everyone wanted to shake my hand and my reputation at the yard went through the roof. Well, that's wonderful. No, it is not. There is nothing more sinister than the man on the street. People are always looking at me now. They're whispering rumors about me under their breath, I'm sure. Rumors? Are you quite sure? He's changed since he started appearing in those stories. The fame's gone to his head. Stuff like that. Gosh, do you really think people are saying such mean-spirited things about you? Like I said, they whisper, so I can't catch exactly what they're saying, but I know what folk are like. Alright, you can chill. Also, he's like, all British people eat fish and chips. All the time. Nom nom. But now I want fish and chips. I'm sure that's what they're saying. As sure as eggs is eggs. I get the feeling this detective could be very hard work. Oh dear, perhaps a sudden rise to fame does change people. So, about the case of the Lord Chief Justice mentioned before. Nothing to tell, really. As far as we're concerned at the yard, it couldn't be simpler. Oh dear, that probably means that as far as we're concerned as lawyers, it couldn't be more complicated. I wish you were wrong about that, but I have a nasty feeling you're right. A young woman was walking along the pavement on Briar Road when she was stabbed from behind. I guess she didn't die, she was just stabbed. Fortunately, it wasn't fatal, but she's still laid up in the hospital unconscious. That's despicable. What sort of coward would attack the poor woman from behind? I suppose he would have finished whoever it was off with a Susato takedown, would you? That is neither here nor there, Mr. Naruhodo. Brace yourself, Ryunosuke, you've angered her now. Anyway, after something of a whirlwind investigation, the criminal was arrested. He barely had the time for a cup of tea after the incident took place, to be honest. Is it Sherlock Holmes? Hold on. Me check. Oops. Thanks. So there must have been something left of the scene that led you directly to the culprit. Or perhaps a reliable witness who recognized the person in question? Okay, I can see it. Let me stop you right there. You're wasting your time on this one. Sorry? There's nothing you can do. There's no way to help the bloke now. Why ever not? Simple. The prosecutor that's been assigned to the trial tomorrow is Lord Beric van Zieks. No. Sounds like you've heard of him then. Oh yes, we are very familiar with Lord Van Zieks. Believed to be the harbinger of death itself. The Reaper of the Valley. And the same prosecutor. I wonder what he's gonna do now, though. Maybe he'll, like, amp it up a lot more. Lord Barrack Van Zieks, we faced in court only yesterday. Mr. McGilda told us about him before the trial, didn't he? We weren't sacrificial lambs for him this time, but I still don't feel good about it. Just saying. This Reaper of the Valley nickname. I suppose he's earned that because every defendant he advocates against is found guilty. Is that it? Well, if that's the case, we should inform you, Inspector, that in yesterday's trial against Lord Van Zieks, Mr. Naruhodo secured a verdict of not guilty. But he still died. So, I don't know. Huh, and what of it? Oh, well, I think that means that even against the Reaper of the Valley, it's not impossible to say the defendant. No? You really don't have a clue, do you? What do you mean? What happened to that bloke in the end, eh? He's dead. Ah. Magnus McGilda came a cropper in that omnibus when it went up in flames. I need a drink. So you can't rightly say you saved a defendant, can you? What are you saying? Look, if Van Zieks could get the dirt to stick on everyone, he'd be a miracle worker. But that's not how it goes. He doesn't work miracles, he works magic. Black magic. I'd have a good long think about that if I were you. Are we really supposed to believe that? He is a vampire. That's what it sounds like he's saying. Right, well I filled you in as requested and I'm very nearly out of chips. But I don't know who we're defending. So I'll be heading back to the crime scene now. We're still carrying out a few investigations there. It was Briar Road, you said, didn't you? Where the incident took place. That's correct, ma'am. And if you head over to the holding cells, you can meet the criminal himself. You've branded him a criminal already. He's as good as, shaking like a leaf in his cell he is. He'll give you a chuckle if nothing else. He's inmate 53. Speak to the jailer and he'll show you the way. Inmate 53. Thank you. So there's no helping anyone against the Reaper of the Valley, they say. Damn, even if they're innocent, they're gonna get killed anyway. Ah, the odds are really against us. Is something troubling you, Mr. Naruhodo? To tell the truth, when I recall the trial yesterday, I can't stop myself from shaking. The idea of facing the Reaper in court again is... Well, if you think it's too much for you, there's no shame in turning the case down. That takes courage, too. But if the man they've arrested is innocent... You could well imagine he would be shaking like a leaf in his cell. And I, for one, wouldn't find a side of that funny. So, if I'm honest, I'm still reeling from the shock of yesterday's events myself. I'm really not sure if I'll be able to help this man, whoever he is. But I'd like to try, so I think I'm going to make some inquiries. Will you help? Did you really think you had to ask? After all, I am your judicial assistant. Thank you. So then, shall we? Yes! Let's go! Let's fucking go! Alright. We can go to Briar Road or we can go to prison. Let's go to scene of crime first. wonder if this is a real road. So this is where it happened. Briar Road. Ah! Look, Mr. Naruhodo. Look at that regulation metal helmet. It's unmistakable. The men of Scotland Yard are here. They're investigating as we speak. That is their job, you know. But Mr. Naruhodo, to see one with my own eyes... They're often depicted in the adventures of Herlock Sholmes, but I never dreamt I'd ever come this close. To a real Bobby's helmet. What? The helmet? Hehe, of course. I have to try one on one day. Well, I hope your Hattie dream comes true. I don't see Inspector Gregson anywhere. Shall we see if we can sneak past and investigate the scene of the stabbing? Why should we sneak? I don't want to upset one of those bobbies and be butted on the head by one of those metal helmets. My skull would crack in two, I'm sure. Oh no, an English bobby would never do such a thing. This is a land of gentlemen, you know. They're police, Husato. And I guess we'll examine. Look at the fun little snowman! What a delightful snowman! I didn't realize the English had a tradition of making snowmen as well. It looks a little creepy though. Have you seen the snowman? Mr. Police, I gave you all the clues. Oh, it has a scarf. Look! You'd need one if you're out in this freezing cold all the time. I wish I had one. I'm afraid our budget is somewhat frozen at the moment, too. We certainly can't afford a scarf. Surely the snowman here would miss his. But the person who made the snowman certainly would. Yes, I know. You're right. Anyway. He read our mind again. Even if I borrowed it, it wouldn't do much to warm my neck, would it? It's covered in snow. Oh, that's a Scotland Yard carriage. They use vehicles like that to rush to crime scenes and cart away criminals. You're very well informed, aren't you? It's long been a dream of mine to ride on one of those through the streets of London. Well, just pick up a stone and throw it through one of the windows then. But that would mean being arrested in order to ride it. Wouldn't it? Still, if it's the only way, help me find a good stone. No, I wasn't serious. You just ask if you can ride. This patch of pavement must be where the incident occurred. Yes, it's a very wide open space, isn't it? It's true. I can't see anywhere an attacker could have been hiding. Oi! What are you foreigners doing here? Ah! Oh, we, just investigating the scene, officer. Conspiring with that mustache fella from Japan, are you? Huh? Conspiring? Come here to destroy evidence, have ya? Get out of here before I give you an item. Go on. Shoot us away like rats. Yes, we should give him a wide berth, I think. What a disappointing experience. That's one of the officers from Scotland Yard. The police are making sure the crime scene is undisturbed. I have a feeling that if we wander too close, we'll be clapped in irons. I think perhaps you're being a little overcautious. No, they literally just talked to us and was like, get the fuck out of here. Or else. You've done nothing wrong, so you have no cause for concern. Oh no, I'm not getting caught out again. Twice is enough. Twice I found myself in handcuffs despite not knowing a thing about what was going on. Yes, you've had some dreadful experiences. I'm sure it's that wide-eyed look of panic you're so prone to. It does you no favors at all. Ugh. Rein it in, Ryunosuke. Do a good poker face. Let's double check in. Oh, a British bicycle. Look. Although the wheel is so misshapen, I'm sure it couldn't possibly be ridden anymore. Someone must have been doing some breakneck cycling. It seems bicycles have become extremely popular in London recently. There's even a movement to change women's dress to allow them to ride as well. Forgot this is that time period, huh? The bicycle fad won't last. I don't see why anyone would want to ride something like that. Goodness! Do you dislike bicycles? No, not at all. I mean, it's not that I dislike them exactly. It's just that any occupation that involves taking both your feet off firm ground seems reckless. If you'd ever tried walking on stilts and fall into a river, I know you'd agree with me. We'll have to hire a bicycle sometime. You can sit behind me while I ride you around. You sure you want that, Ryunosuke? Oh, look at the windows of that building there. Are you sure they're windows? Yes, but they're all filled in with bricks. Oh, you're right. I wonder why. Perhaps it's an empty property where nobody lives at the moment. There's smoke coming from the chimneys, though. Oh dear. Everything still feels very foreign. There's so much we have to learn about this place. I don't know why they're bricked up. That's weird, though. That's a rather typical old brick building, isn't it? I'm sure it has a long and interesting history. Well, time certainly seems to have taken its toll on the place. It's crooked and sagging all over. In fact, it looks in decidedly worse shape than the other houses around here. We must find some cheap lodgings ourselves as soon as possible. Yes, you're right. Cheap, but ideally with reasonably level floors. Our house doesn't even have level floors. Here. The clouds look so big and heavy in the sky, don't they? And with the dense fog as well, everything looks hazy. Well, it is known as Foggy London Town. I can just make out some sort of spire through the fog. It looks like it's still being built, though. Aha! Yes, that must be the Crystal Tower, being built for the Great Exhibition that's to open in 6 months' time. Apparently it's going to be very striking, glazed on all sides and the symbolic centerpiece of the exhibition. It's to be the largest exposition in history, is it? I can't even begin to imagine it. Maybe the last case is us being there. I don't know, we'll see how this case goes. I personally just like the investigation part. I don't think there's anything. Wait, hold on. There are piles of snow on the pavement here and there, but the road itself is covered in carriage tracks. It seems carriages often travel down Briar Road. It soon disperses all the snow. I slipped over when I was walking down the pavement earlier. It seems like it would be far safer to walk on the road instead. Oh, but you're rather small, Mr. Naruhodo, and dressed all in black. I worry Kochin might not see you, and you could be flattened by horses. Well, thank you for the rather small concern. You calling me short? I don't know if we can do much of anything while we're here. Susato is asking if we did everything we were supposed to do here. So now I'm like, okay, I gotta look. What's this? Do you see all the black smoke rising from the chimneys over there? It says here that in Great Britain many people heat their homes in winter using coal. The only chimneys I really remember seeing in Japan were on top of the bathhouse. Do you think some of those houses could be on fire? Not at all. Well, even so. That much thick smoke billowing up to the heavens is surely going to turn the whole sky black sooner or later. Yeah. Gosh, you may be right about that. That's why it's smoggy as heck. Nothing's happening on my end. There's nothing else here to do, Susato. What are you talking about? Oops. So these are British prison cells. Oh, they're ghastly. It feels just like a dungeon. Yes, and having experienced it in Japan myself, I can assure you that our wooden cells feel a lot cozier than these cold stone walls. Oh, don't, Mr. Naruhodo. You're making it seem worse. Apparently, our client is in this cell here. It's so dark at the back there, I can't make him out. I wonder what he's like. Inmate 53, your legal representative is here to see you. Stop hiding at the back of the cell and show your face at once. Am I a cat? As yet with no name? Calling me by a number. It's utterly, unbelievably, unjustly unreasonable. I refuse to answer. Mr. Naruhodo, what? What do you think is going on here? I have no idea, but I wasn't just hearing things, was I? That tirade of complaints was in Japanese. Oh. Excuse me, but who? Shh, quiet. They're all around, hiding. I know they are. They're watching, listening, even now. I can sense it. Right. So, could I ask you who exactly— There you are! You've come to curse me, haven't you? Don't try to hide it. You're a ghost. A ghost? We mean you no harm, prisoner-san. Are you— Oh, I guess we're speaking Japanese now. Prisoner-san! Japanese by any chance? This is beyond my wildest dreams! Forgive me for that outburst before. I'm so sorry. Oh, it's fine. We were just a little surprised, that's all. Imagine it. It's been 12 long months since I left my hometown, and here I am in a frightful fix in a foreign land. So hearing the sweet, sentimental tones of a compatriot's voice here in this damp, dark hellhole was a most monumentally moving moment. Okay. Who could have guessed that this new client Lord Strongheart assigned to us would turn out to be a fellow Japanese? Oh, he has the anime eyes, I just noticed. What compassion my fellow countrymen show. To dispatch a first-class lawyer all the way from Japan to defend a mere foreign student. Noble, nurturing, never-failing Nippon. A first-class lawyer? Oh dear, I think there's been something of a misunderstanding here. I wonder, would you be so kind as to tell us what's happened? Why you've been detained as a suspect, for example. Yes, I can. I will. Shan't stay sullen and silent. Is he doing the fucking... what's it called? Power Rangers poses? I'm not quite sure I understand what he means, but he seems happy. Yes, he does. I just hope he actually has a good reason to be. Thank you for cooperation. I'm a lawyer, as you said. My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Well, whatever. He's voguing. And I am Naruhodo-san's judicial assistant, Susato Mikotoba. I am a visiting student sent here by our government. Notably, notoriously named Natsume. Soseki Natsume. Alright. Soseki Natsume-san? What an unusual name. Call me Soseki, please. I'm a poet, you see, a writer of haiku. It's something of a nom de plume. A nom de plume? You mean an alias? That's right, Naruhodo-san. No, no, no! Don't be so prosaic. It's much more refined than that. And haiku? That really reminds me of home. Did I hear you say that you were a visiting student over here by the government? Or sent over here by the government? Yes, that's right. A year ago I was told to go and study English. First I had to suffer that misery, and now this is beyond the pale. Suffer that misery? Did you not want to study here? No, I mean... I've had an interest in Great Britain for some years, of course. Oh. But... just because the government tells you to do something doesn't mean you can do it. No? What do you mean? If they told me to study English literature, that I could have understood. That's my field. But no, they told me to study the English language. Utterly, unbelievably, unjustly unreasonable. I see. Only the other day I was told to send a report about my first year here. I tendered a blank piece of paper. Wise words on white washi. Whatever he's saying, that's not haiku. He must be a man of great standing. Oh yes, so I'm often told. And often like to be told, it seems. I'm trying to figure out what the name means. Soseki Natsume. Could you perhaps tell us exactly why you've been arrested, Soseki-san? I didn't do it. I didn't commit that atrocious murder. Murder? Oh, no, it's alright. The woman didn't actually die, did she? But she was stabbed with a knife right before my eyes. Before your eyes? You mean you saw the attacker? I didn't see anyone. What? If I'd seen the person who did it, do you think I'd be locked up in here? Oh dear, it seems this case is becoming rather complicated. Why me? Why me? Why did that silly woman have to be stabbed in front of me? It's the curse of London. It's incredibly, inexcusably, irritatingly inconvenient. So Soseki-san was there to see him, but he didn't see the attacker. It's vital that we find out more about the case. I don't... Wait, hold on. Let me see what he said. She was stabbed right before my eyes. I didn't see anyone. Okay, can you elaborate? It was an accursed evening just after the snow had started to clear and heavy with fog. I'd been to the bookshop to buy some books and I was on my way back to my accursed lodgings. Sure, the bookshop wasn't accursed too. As I was walking along that accursed pavement, I could make out the sole silhouette of another ahead of me. A woman wearing a green overcoat she was, and just as I went to overtake her, she suddenly let out a little scream and collapsed to the cold, hard slabs of stone at my feet. Uh-oh. How terrible. I called out to the woman, but she didn't move. It was like a ghostly, ghoulish, grim graveyard. Slight exaggeration there, perhaps. I was terrified. I had to get away from there. So I ran as fast as my legs could carry me back to my accursed lodgings. That's not good. They'll say it was shameful, I know, to run away like that. Tell me, Soseki-san, was the victim an acquaintance of yours? Don't be ridiculous. You think I know any of these fair-haired English, and a young woman at that? I'm diffident, shy, timid, unsure. I can't talk to people. I see. A young woman unknown to Soseki-san. And at the time it happened, who else did you see nearby? Did anybody pass you? Regrettably, apart from myself and the woman, I didn't see a soul. No one? Oh, great. So the victim was unknown to you, and there was nobody else in the street at the time. That creates something of a conundrum, doesn't it? What conundrum? What do you mean, what conundrum? We need to get him to be not guilty in court. Come on, Nari and Osuke.